this is time sensitive. Not because there's a magic deadline tomorrow, but because the window you have after 60, before required distributions ramp up, can be the cleanest planning window you ever get. And I'm recording this video because Roth conversions have turned into a hype topic. People talk about them like they're automatically smart or automatically a scam. And both takes are lazy. And I think you deserve the full story. So here it is. I'm recording this video right now because this topic is quietly costing retirees real money. Comment where you're watching from so I can see how far these videos travel. And real quick, if you value calm numbers first retirement breakdowns like this, do me a favor, subscribe and comment Retirement Risk Watch so the algorithm knows you want more of this. Now, in case you haven't seen what I'm talking about, here's the claim making the rounds. Convert everything to Roth. Never convert. It's a tax trap. Roth means no taxes ever. It's the best move after 60. And on the surface, it sounds airtight. But when you slow it down piece by piece and you look at brackets, timing, and the income stack later, you realize the reality is more nuanced. That's clean. It's also incomplete. So I'm going to break down 3 things. First, what a Roth conversion actually is in plain English. Second, when it tends to be smart versus when it becomes a landmine. And third, a simple framework you can write down so you stop following slogans and start making a decision that fits your retirement plan. So, let's start with what we can verify. A Roth conversion is when you move money from a traditional tax-deferred account into a Roth bucket. And in many cases, that conversion amount is treated as taxable income in the year you do it. Meaning, you're choosing to pay taxes now in exchange for different tax behavior later. Here's the clean way to think about it. This is not a free lunch. This is a timing trade. Pay taxes sooner, potentially reduce taxes later. Increase flexibility later, potentially create a bigger tax bill now. So the key question becomes, are you converting in a year where the tax you pay is cheap relative to the tax you'd pay later? Now, here's the trap. People do conversions emotionally. They do them because Roth is good. That's not a plan. That's a bumper sticker. Here's a question for you. Would you rather have a bigger tax bill now and smaller tax bills later? Or smaller taxes now and accept bigger forced taxes later? Comment pay now or pay later. Because that mindset drives the decision more than any spreadsheet. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting. Roth conversions tend to make the most sense when 3 things are true. 1. You're in a relatively lower tax situation now than you expect later. 2. You have a meaningful amount in tax-deferred accounts that could create big required distributions later. 3. You have a way to pay the taxes without wrecking your lifestyle or forcing bad withdrawals. And they tend to be dangerous when 3 things are true. 1. The conversion pushes you into a much higher tax situation than expected. 2. You're converting without considering how it stacks with other income. 3. You're paying the tax in a way that creates its own damage, like pulling too hard from the portfolio during a weak market. Now, I'm going to say something that might annoy both sides. Roth conversions can be brilliant, and they can be stupid. Same tool. Different context. So what does context mean? Context means your timeline. If you're retired, not working, and you haven't started big forced distributions yet, you may have a window where your taxable income is lower. That can be a chance to intentionally fill a tax zone with conversions over multiple years, instead of doing one massive conversion in 1 year and blowing everything up. Context means your income stack. If you already have a big pension plus Social Security plus other income, conversions can push you into an ugly tax result fast. That's the landmine. Not the conversion itself, the stacking. Context means your behavior. If you do conversions when you're scared and the market is down, you might be selling depressed assets to pay the tax bill. That's a double hit. Sequence risk plus tax hit. Now here's the skeptical alternative. What if tax rates change later? Yes, they can. That's plausible. Here's how it can fail. If you build a plan assuming one future tax world, reality might differ. That's why the goal isn't perfect prediction. The goal is flexibility. Conversions should be sized so you don't destroy your current stability while still improving future options. So what does this actually mean for you? It means you need a conversion framework, not a conversion slogan. Now here's a simple action plan. No drama. Step 1. Write down your retirement timeline. When you stop working, when Social Security starts, when required distributions begin, and what other income streams exist. 1 page. Step 2. Estimate your taxable income baseline without conversions. That's your starting point. Step 3. Decide a conversion ceiling, an amount you will not exceed in a year because you don't want to trigger a higher tax situation than you're comfortable with. This is the guardrail. This is the seatbelt. Write it down. Decide X first, then Y. Now, I want to give you a clean mental model, tax shelves. Imagine shelves in a closet. You can place boxes on the lower shelves and it's fine. But if you try to shove too many boxes in, you climb up, everything gets messy, and you fall off the ladder. Conversions are boxes. Don't fall off the ladder. So rather than convert everything, the more realistic approach for many retirees is convert gradually within a defined zone, year after year, while you still have control. Now, let's map 3 plausible paths without pretending we can predict the exact market. Path 1. Conversions done gradually in a low-income window. In this world, you build a bigger Roth bucket, reduce future forced distributions, and increase flexibility later. Path 2. No conversions at all with large tax-deferred balances. In this world, you might face bigger forced taxable income later. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's stressful. It depends on your stack. Optional Path 3. Aggressive conversions in 1 year without guardrails. In this world, you can trigger a tax shock now and still not feel better later, because you did it emotionally instead of systematically. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. The biggest Roth conversion mistake isn't doing one. The biggest mistake is doing conversions without a written ceiling and without understanding stacking. That's how a smart tool becomes a landmine. Here's what to watch. Watch your income stack, watch your withdrawal rate, and watch whether your conversion plan makes you lose sleep. If it makes you lose sleep, you're doing too much too fast. Here are the rules I use, and you can steal them. 1. Decide your maximum withdrawal guardrail first. Write it down. If you're losing sleep, you're pulling too hard, or you're invested too aggressive. 2. When markets run hard and you're up a lot, refill your cash runway. Not forever, just enough to buy you time. 3. Don't confuse income with safety. A high yield is not a safety guarantee. 4. The best time to make a retirement decision isn't when you're scared or hyped. It's when you can still breathe and do the math. So here's what we covered. A Roth conversion is a timing trade. Taxes now for flexibility later. It's smart when you use a lower income window and keep conversions inside a defined ceiling. It's dangerous when you convert emotionally, ignore stacking, or pay taxes in a way that damages the retirement paycheck machine. Now, here are my questions for you. First, are you considering Roth conversions right now? Yes or no? Comment yes or no. Second, are you still working, newly retired, or fully retired? Comment working, newly retired, or retired. If you got value out of this, subscribe and comment Retirement Risk Watch so I know you want to follow up when the next update hits. And if this helped you, share it with someone who's trying to retire without making expensive mistakes. All right, take care of yourself, stay sharp, and I'll talk to you soon. And just so we're crystal clear, this is educational content and commentary. It's my take based on publicly discussed information and my own reasoning. And it's not personal financial advice. I'm not your advisor. I don't know your goals or your risk tolerance. And I could be wrong. Do your own homework. Consider your situation. And if you need personal advice, get it from a qualified professional who knows your situation.